You're listening to Real Talk Texas on 570 KLIF News and Information. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert Steve Hakes.
Welcome to Real Talk Texas. I'm your host, Steve Hakes. And today, we're in my wheelhouse again. We're going to talk about the mortgage market. We're going to talk about what's happening with mortgage rates. We're going to talk about what's happening in the real estate market and what we're seeing on the front lines with real estate agents that are calling our office and what's happening for sellers and buyers alike. And so what I first want to get started with is I get a lot of calls. What the heck is happening with mortgage rates today? And what we've seen since May 1st, and it's been kind of crazy that each week we're seeing the market slide. And in our terms, a sliding bond market means rising mortgage rates. And so one of the things that we've seen is that bankrate.com just took a look there, and they're taking the average mortgage, the 30-year mortgage, and they're saying on May 1st, the average mortgage rate was 3.52, and on May 29th, it was 3.99. So it's gone up a half a point in less than, well, I guess in this month. And that came as a surprise, I think, to most of us in the mortgage industry. Everybody was kind of coasting along and with really good rates, and everybody's happy, and the buyer's market was kicking up, so everything was going well. And what I will tell you is that even with a half point higher in interest rate, it's just kind of crazy. I mean, that's still an extremely low rate. When I first got into the business in 1999, I had a kind of a gas station sign in my window at Liberty Lending in Southlake, and I had bought a 7, an 8, and a 6 were my big numbers, and then I had my quarters and eighths that I would put up every day. I never had anything below a 6, and now we're talking about rates being in the 3s for so long. I think it's going to happen over this year. I think we're going to, not only are housing prices coming back, but I think mortgage rates are coming in line as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is and how the quantitative easing that's been going on by the Fed, how that really affects mortgage rates, and what we can expect over the next few months for those home buyers out there that are looking to purchase a home. There's some strategies that will really help you get going and take advantage of these low rates now. I don't really expect them to last much longer. I really think that, and if you look at what's happening and everything that you're reading, by the end of this year, I mean, rates are going to be back up close in the mid-4s, 4% to mid-4s, which is still really a great rates. We're talking about the Fed pulling back on their buying of the bonds, and that's what's really been artificially keeping the rates so low. But I will tell you that the other side of it is Bernanke was saying that he's not going to really pull that back too much until the unemployment rate drops to 6.8%. And he reported that in his last speech. So I think, we've got a lot of things at play here. There's been some talk about the stock market running into a little bubble here, and that may drop off. And when that happens, people take their money out of stocks and put them back into bonds. And then we get more money for mortgages, and the rates get better as well. So I think it's probably a temporary thing. We're probably going to bounce back between 3.5% and 4% on a 30-year mortgage for some time. When you really look at it, it's not that much difference in your payment when you get it down to a monthly payment. I know a lot of people get hung up on the rates, but what you have to do is get out your mortgage calculator, go onto my website at stevehakes.com, and you'll be able to go in there and calculate what the difference is. But depending on your loan size, a quarter point difference in rate can only mean maybe $20 or something like that in your mortgage payment. So it's not a huge thing. But it's something certainly to watch because it will affect the amount of borrowers that can qualify as far as a first-time home buyer. So those are things that we're going to kind of talk about today. We're going to talk about being able to refi still and why you should refi now. I mean, if you're out there today and your rate is above 5%, you need to call my office today. And just leave a message, and we'll get back to you and get you refinanced quickly. And in our next segment, we're going to focus in on refinancing and the opportunity that's still there for a lot of it's surprising to me how many people have not refinanced. And I think part of it comes to the fact that they're nervous about, how much documentation they're going to have to turn in and the whole process, or maybe they're just too busy. But what I will tell you is that you need to take a moment, get with me, and we will go through everything and I'll give you one comprehensive list, gather it up one time, and we make it pretty painless to come in and do the refinance and really save you a lot of money. And I really think that we're at a point now where, it's 2013. I think in 2017, they're going to be looking back and saying, wow, do you remember what the rates were like in 2013? So I think you need to really think about it if you haven't refinanced yet. And we'll talk about some of the things you can do, some of the strategies, some of the programs that are available. If you're a little nervous about refinance, whether you can qualify again, all those things. There's a lot of things we can do for you. And so if you would like to refinance or you're thinking about buying a home, pull out your cell phone and put in this number, 214-643-6021. That's 214-643-6021. That's the direct line to my office desk. I will certainly get back to you personally and take care of you and give you the advice you need. The way I work is, I don't do a lot of bait and switch, or I don't do false promises. What I'm going to do is evaluate your situation. I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you, here's what your options are, and then let you decide. The mortgage market is selling to the same places. They're selling to either FHA, they're selling to VA, they're selling to USDA or Fannie or Freddie on most loans. And then you have your jumbo market, which is a whole other pool. But almost all lenders are securitizing their loans with that. And we'll talk about what that means a little later as well. So the pricing really should be really close. The difference is, what are the fees they charge you to get this done? And that's where my office, we do an extremely, extremely low rate. We've had people say, are you kidding me? You can do it for that little? Well, yeah, we can, because we do a lot of volume, and we're very good at what we do in our office, and we try to keep customers in mind first and trying to make that process easy for you. We even do e-signature, where you'll take the application and then we'll take it over the phone, and we send you a email link, and all you do is go in and click through and e-sign your application. And so we make it really easy for you to do either one of two things, either buy a house or refinance your home. So in the next segment, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what are some of the programs that are available in the refinance market. What are the streamlined programs that are still out there that a lot of people don't know about? And what are the ways that you can get into those loans with very little documentation, and how to make things happen for you personally on your own loan. So stay tuned. You're listening to Real Talk Texas. I'm your host, Steve Hakes, here on KLIF, AM 570, News and Information.
Mortgage professionals, if you're tired of working for a big bank that always has customers upset because they can't close a loan within 30 days, then you need to call the host of Real Talk Texas, Steve Hakes of Affiliated Bank Mortgage, at 214-643-6021. That's 214-643-6021. Affiliated Bank Mortgage is seeking mortgage consultants, loan processors, underwriters, and closers for their Dallas and Fort Worth offices. Affiliated Bank takes care of their customers and all their personal and business needs with great technology and makes sense lending. As a member of the team, you can enjoy a great culture, really get to know your clients, and put a smile on their face. Call Steve Hakes to learn more about the great employment opportunities at Affiliated Bank Mortgage at 214-643-6021. That's 214-643-6021. Or visit realtalktexas.com. The smaller bank that really cares about you. Affiliated Bank. Why bank anywhere else?